So membership is a really powerful tool you can use to look at your members and a number of different ways to manipulate the data about them, so you can progress your organisation as you wish, or just compare yourself to other clubs, regions, members or organisations. So the first thing we need is the membership dashboard tab to be available to you. If you haven't got this, it's because your organisation hasn't given you access. There may be a reason for that, but check with your national body to decide whether you can actually get it. So this provides some information, provides you a leaderboard as the basic function, telling you how many members are in each club. But we're going to look at some of the more advanced details. So you typically want to look at a date range. We're going to look at all of 2014. And compare those results to all of 2013. Now we want to go into some of the more advanced options in a second. That may or may not show. If it just shows like this, you need to click on the show advanced options. So let's just look at that information we've got so far. We're going to refresh the data so it shows below. And you can now see 2014 compared to 2013 results, and it shows you the amount of people retained, the amount of people who are new, the amount of people who have re-engaged from one year to the next, how many people were lost. So you can see that ranking of clubs. You may want to see more clubs. If you want to see more clubs in there, increase the amount through the number shown here. We're going to put it up to 25 and refresh. So there's quite a lot of information it's checking. It does take some time, but now we have a longer list, so you can compare that information. This is just sandbox data, so this information isn't necessarily correct. If we click on one of these buttons, they will bring up a PDF, an Excel document, or a CSV document with the information in this table. Let's just look at one of those examples. I have to click open on my screen. You may not have to do that, it might just come straight up. And there you go, it gives you that information. Now, there is a limit to this list. One is the amount of rows you show. Two, it will only display up to 1,000 rows. If you want more than that, you need to use Salesforce reports, the full functionality that Salesforce provides you with. This is just a tool, a quick tool that gets you your information fast. You could change how this information is grouped. So at the moment we're grouping by club, but you might want to group it by the affiliation body or national governing body. So if we do that, we can then compare here we're comparing Surfing Great Britain with Surf Lifesaving Great Britain and BKSA, but because we've only got access here to Surf Lifesaving Great Britain on the affiliation body, it's only shown one. Most people won't have access to this, but we could show all, because in this sandbox we have access to all of those numbers. That's just an example, because you may choose to use the region, you may choose to use the club, the region, affiliation body, or group it by membership type. So we'll try that one next. Okay, so now we can see all the different membership types and how many were in there. Keep this clear and go back to the clubs, refresh our data, and we're going to look at some of these other filters. that you can put in and some of the charts that are available. So currently this is showing just the leaderboard chart, and you won't see anything else below it. If we want to see a chart that shows this retained, recruited, lost and re-engaged figures, the RRL chart. If we want to show the membership type chart, age group chart and agenda chart, we tick them all. It just takes longer for loading, so that's why they're not default checked. If you've got relatively fast internet access, it won't be too bad. It'll be about the same speed as this computer's going now. If you've got slow internet access, it will take a fairly long time to look at a lot of information. The 19 to 30 age group in each year. Might change that. Okay, so we now have that information. As you can see, we've got the age category chart, so how many people are in each membership. You can see there's a lot in the 30 under 64. If you hover over it, it gives you the actual number. Same on each bar. Similarly, for these other graphs, you can look at the membership types, and it shows you a distribution of types. So a lot of individual and standard memberships, and then you've got these other smaller categories here. Again, hovering over gives you the number. Male, female, and unknown genders. And here's your recruited, retained, lost. So purple being the lost members in each of those clubs. Green's new, blue is retained, and some of them you can see some orange, which are the re-engaged, very small part, people are re-engaged from a year previous. Right, so we will now uncheck some of those. It keeps it a bit faster. And look at some of these other categories. So at present we can see quite high numbers here. If we select that we just want to look at the male, refresh that, it will bring those numbers down significantly. So you can see now that these numbers have reduced a lot. We can probably trim this down further by going to a certain age group. So let's just look at so it's more significant change. It's reduced further again. If we want to go even tighter down, we might only just look at one club. So let's look at relatively large one. Now it only comes down to one single club. You can see the amount of male members between 19 to 30 they have in their club. Again, this may or may not be accurate. This is just a sandbox information. We could look how many people have got a certain membership type. So we've got a lot there because we're looking at all of the affiliation bodies. If we trim this down to just one body, you'll see a lot less. That one's available. Let's see if there is one. No members in that one either. So we can see some data there. Just as some advice, it's not a good idea to name your membership as an individual membership for a certain year, or create new memberships each year with the same name, because then it's hard to report from one year to the next. Just keep your membership name the same each year. So that's the general functionality that you can use in this dashboard. Very useful. There's another option you can use, which is comparing your subscription. So a membership being a membership record that is live during the period you selected up here. A subscription being someone that has paid within the period that you specified up here. Those figures will be very, very slightly different. more important for the national governing bodies or people who are responsible for getting the income. So there you go, that's the dashboards.